Hey, what is up, everybody? I'm here to give you my Walking Dead review. From now on, from this point forward, though, you're gonna not just get one, you're not gonna get two, you're gonna get three Walking Dead reviews every Tuesday. I just can't stand just watching one, so I'm gonna watch three Walking Dead reviews every single Tuesday and review them every single Tuesday. So let's get right into it. This episode is season 2, episode 11, and it came out on March 4th, 2012. And I guess if you want to know, it was written by, who gives a fuck? This was actually a really pretty good episode. So what it starts out with Daryl talking to their prisoner. I don't even think they've said his name yet. Like I said, they may have said his name before, and I just couldn't catch it because I can't even remember whether or not Andrea or Andrea's name is her name, mainly because I don't give a shit because I don't like Andrea/Andrea. But anyhow, he's beating the shit out of him, trying to get answers out of him, and he's just asking him a bunch of questions. He starts cutting his leg off, and the answers he gets is that there's like 30 people in his group, and he didn't really know much about the group because he hasn't been there very long, and they just left him from behind, left him for dead. And he tells them that he found these two teenage girls and that they're really young and cute. And I think Dale gets like this sick mind that he raped them or something. So then he just continues to beat the shit out of them, and it cuts to the theme song. That's kind of like the gist of it. They said more, but I can't remember. But it was just pretty awesome. And then the group all decided whether or not to kill him. So Rick makes the final decision to kill him. And Dale says you can't do this. Think about what you believe in. This is a cruel world. You can't just kill someone without him being guilty. Because this episode's, by the way, called Judge, Jury, Executioner, I think. I forgot to mention that. Yeah, Judge, Jury, Executioner. And it makes a lot of sense, actually. You can't just kill him without being proven guilty that he's going to do something later on. You should just let him live. He can do something with them. And Rick doesn't want to hear about it. He wants to kill this guy because he's doing what's best for the group. And Dale says that he just to give him one to think about Carl. Think about what you're teaching him, just to kill someone before they can commit a crime. And then Dale says to give everyone 1 day. He's going to talk to all the group to try to change their mind, and I guess Rick agreed because he did. And then Andrea, who gives a shit, asks Dale where the gun bag is just because she can, and Dale wants Andrea to keep guard of the barn where the prisoner is. And just in case Shane gets any funny ideas. And because Shane thinks this is a good idea because Dale thinks it was Shane's idea to do this in the first place. And Andrea's like, I think it's agrees with Shane, thinks it's a good idea, but still will. It talks about too how this is we're in a crucial world. But we're in a peaceful society. We can't just change our humanity. And Andrea agrees with Shane, but she agrees to watch to keep guard of the barn, not because it's the right thing to do. And then we see this guy, and he's watching Shane and Carl talk, and he talks about how Carl wants, I guess, to do something about it, and Shane says not to worry about it, just leave this to the adults. Kind of like a typical, if there's adult situation, that's usually what they say, and when the kid wants to interfere. And then I really like the way they use Carl in this episode too. Shane sees Andrea keeping guard, and he's like, you shouldn't be. He thinks they know that Dale's wrong. That he even talked about how he would chain up Herschel and Rick in a barn to keep the group safe. Because he really wants to keep the group safe, and nobody ever listens to him. They always listen to Rick or Herschel or Dale. And he talks about how Rick's his friend. he doesn't mind Herschel, and Dale has a big mouth, but he's a good human being. And then as they're talking, we see someone's up on like the rooftop of the barn, and it's Carl, which this is awesome. And the prisoner tries to talk him into the getting him a to let him free. That he would give pretty much like what a stranger would say. He will. They have a lot of people there and they'll take care of you and his family and will take real good care of you. And Carl kind of gets like this sick look on his face, like he's gonna kill him. I actually thought he was gonna like stab him, and then which I think would have been awesome. But then Shane catches him and yells at Carl and says not to go in there anymore. And Carl's like, "Don't tell my parents, don't tell my parents." And Shane's like, "It's not about getting in trouble or not. This is about keeping you safe. So go get your mom." And he does so. He probably hates Shane for that. And then we see Carl, and then Shane and Rick and Lori. I always mess up Rick and Shane's names too. I don't know why. Rick and Lori go into the barn and they talk about. Lori says that she supports this decision and to kill him. That Rick says it's not going to be an easy decision, and Rick says that. And Lori asks what happened with Shane from the last episode, and he said everything's all good now. And then Carol comes over to Carl and says, so you don't really need to. We're gonna see Sophia again. We're gonna see in heaven. That's a better place. And then Carl's like, there is no heaven, or something like that. He doesn't believe in heaven, so he mouths off on her. And Carol's like, you really need to control this kid. He just talks back to me. And Rick says, I'll go talk to him. And Lori says, I'm sorry. Tries to like apologize. But then Carol's like, just because I only lost my jaw. I didn't lose my mind. So Carol's just kind of pissed. And then Rick talks to Carl about it and says you shouldn't be talking to people like that. Yada yada. Yeah. And Carl says there is no heaven, so what should she believe it? And Rick says that Carol believes that there's a better place after losing her daughter. And he tells Carl to think before he says. And he wants her to make things right with Carol. And then Carl brings up the prisoner that they're going to kill. And Rick's like, that's a completely different. So then it was kind of like a authority father kind of scene. And then Dale starts going around and talks to each member of the group. It doesn't show everybody, but it shows some people. He talks to Dale first. And Dale says he doesn't care what happens to them. Either way, it doesn't really matter to him. And he talks about how it hurt to see Sophia in that state. It really hurt you. And you care about Carol and stuff like that. And Dale's like, I do care. And he talks about how like Shane killed Otis and how Rick couldn't figured it out, but he didn't want to, and he talks about how this group is broke. So I don't really think he talked to Dale into it. And then he tries to talk Herschel into it, saying this is your farm. And I think he mentioned too that like the walkers or something were cutting through the fence. And you get to make the decisions here. You can't just have people killing people on their own. But he kind of wants to go through with this, considering the fact that he wants to keep this guy away from his girls, and he's made bad decisions before, and he doesn't want to make them again. And then he tries to talk Shane into it. Says, well, obviously it wasn't as easy, but pretty much what happens is Shane makes a deal that if he can, they'll all get the group into a big circle, and if he can get them to agree, whatever happens, and it's this kid's trouble, it's all going to be on Dale's hands. And then I think Herschel was in the room checking on Beth, and she was singing a song to her, and then Glenn says, is there anything you can do? And Herschel says no. And then Herschel talked about this story about, well, he asked Glenn where his family's from, and he says Michigan, but my ancestors came here from Korea, because he's Asian. And Herschel says that the immigrants built this country because I'm from Ireland, and he talks about how his grandfather gave his father this watch from Ireland that he has, and it's been passed down from his family. And then when he used to be a bad drinker, he sold it um, to get the alcohol he needed. But then his wife, I forget her name, it was Maggie's mother, I think, brought it back. And when he finally sobered up, he got the watch back. And he always talks about how there's never anyone good enough for your daughter until you see somebody good enough, until you finally see somebody good enough. And then he passes down the watch to Glenn, because I guess he doesn't, I don't know, have a son or something. I don't know why he wouldn't pass it down to Jim, but I guess he takes it. I thought they broke up, but we didn't really see a scene from them this episode. And then we see this scene. Carl goes up to Dale's place with all the dead squirrels and the motorcycle, and we see him go off into the woods. And this was a weird scene. Not a weird scene, but an awesome scene. And he takes his gun, actually, Dale's gun, and he sees a walker stuck in the mud like they were the episode that they found out that Sophia died, had got bit. And he kind of teases the walker. He looks at it, and he teases it. He throws rocks at it, and the walker obviously gets pissed. And he, I think, acts like he's going to shoot it, but doesn't shoot it. And then the walker, after so much teasing, finally, gets out of the mud and tries to attack Carl, and he can't find the gun, obviously, so then he escapes. And I thought it was a pretty awesome scene, but yet, why did Carl want to do this? I think this shows that Carl is starting to change, because he really acted different in this episode than he did in the other episodes. Really did. I hope they continue this, because it will continue to show that Carl has a purpose, because usually he's kind of just there for me in this, that he has, that he doesn't have many lines. He's just kind of there. He's only, really alive right now because he's Rick and Lori's son, and obviously he's the main character's son, so I don't think they're going to kill off the main character's son. So I think that might be, I think that might be why, but maybe, I mean, it still could be why, but maybe if they continue this change, because I really wasn't that interested in Carl, but I'm pretty interested in him now. And then afterwards, when Carl comes back, he's all muddy, and his parents didn't even ask him about this, to be honest with you. It's like, they don't ask, oh, why are you all muddy? He probably would have come up with a lie anyways, but you would think they would ask this question. And it was just really weird. I mean, they didn't even really, I thought what was going to happen, really, ask where he was. But earlier in the scene, Lori and Rick had a talk, because I guess by sunset, they were going to kill him, the prisoner. And Lori says that you're doing what you think is right, and Rick asks if she supports her, but Lori says yes, but he asks if you think he's doing the right thing, and Lori says yeah. And then the group has a big circle discussion about it, and they tell Carl to go upstairs, but Carl wants to listen, but they won't let him. And when he tries to listen, everybody looks at him, so then he just leaves. I actually thought what was going to happen, but he was going to be listening from some other direction. And then so they all talk about it. Dale doesn't think it's a good idea because this is the society that we're living in. I thought we didn't kill the living. This boy is being committed at a crime that he hasn't committed yet. And then what happens is he just doesn't want anyone to kill him, and he thinks Glenn's with him on this, but he doesn't want to because he said that they've lost enough people and he's not really with us. And even Dale even says that Rick bought this guy back, and you're just gonna kill him. That doesn't make any sense. And people are saying that he could kill one of us. Shane even said that we could let our guard down, and he can go get his 30 men and come back. And I think Dale even mentioned that if you kill this guy, these 30 men could come after you anyways. And then what happens is I'm just exhausted from talking. Hold on. What happens is finally Andrea agrees because which I thought was kind of cool, because that's the first time they've really agreed on anything. Usually it's a big argument between those two. And what happens is, trying to think what happens. Um, they even talked about too how they could be an escort, but no one would want to be this guy. And Rick says, if there's anything else you want to say it now. And I thought Carl was going to come in and say something, but I guess not. Um, and no one says anything, so then Dale's like, I can't believe what this group is turning into. Leave me out of this. And Kale even wanted to be left out of this. And then he says to Dale, you're right, this group is broke. And then afterwards, Dale, Shane, and Rick take the guy, and they blindfold him. And looks like, do you have any final words? And the guy's like, no, please don't kill me, just begging them not to kill him. And when he's about to pull the trigger, Carl comes in and says, do it, Dad. And Shane gets pissed that he followed them. So then he doesn't do it, obviously, because he didn't want to do it in front of his son. I knew he wasn't going to. So then he explains that they're gonna keep him in custody, and that Carl followed them, so he just couldn't do it. He didn't want them to see it, and Lloyd thinks it's okay. And then we see Dale just walking by himself on the farm, and we see the buffaloes that we saw earlier has been eaten by one of the walkers. And then when Dale turns around, we see the walker that Carl was released from the mud, and he takes down Dale, and everybody hears it, so they try to start running after him to try to get rid of the zombie. And the zombie opens up his stomach. It's raining outside right now. And then Dale comes in and stabs him with a knife, and they look at him, and they say, get Herschel, get Herschel. And says we need to take him to do the operation, but Herschel says he won't make the trip. So then Rick's like, do the operation here, and then he's like, he's not going to make it. So then Carl sees the walker that he was in the woods with, and he's like, and he's just distraught. And they have to put him down because he's going to suffer otherwise. So Rick's going to put him down himself, but instead Dale takes the gun and does it because Rick was hesitating. And then Dale says, sorry, bud, and it ends with Dale killing Dale. And usually they play the theme song with the credits, but this time it was just silence. It was just credits. It was just complete silence, which I thought was awesome. I thought this was a pretty good episode. I like this episode. I like the storyline with them going to kill the episode. I like the way Carl was utilized, and I like the ending scene. I actually thought when Dale was walking by himself that Shane was going to kill him, considering the fact that they've had the differences. But I'm glad they do. I'm glad what happened, and I wonder if Carl's going to start changing more now, because technically he caused Dale to die. Because if he didn't go in the woods by himself, that wouldn't have happened. But we'll see what happens the next episode. In like a few minutes, we'll upload this, then watch it, and that's pretty much it, guys. See you later.